أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
Surah 86,
Tariq,
The Night Visitor, Meccan period. Title: The expression
Tariq,
featuring in the surah's opening verse came to be known as its title. Period of revelation. In its subject matter, this surah is identical with early Meccan surahs. However, internal evidence lends credence to the view that it was revealed at a time where the Meccan unbelievers had been hatching their impious designs against the Prophet's call to Islam. Subject matter and themes. Two main themes lie at the core of this surah. One, man's answerability to Allah after his death, and two, the supreme invincible status of the Quran, which cannot be downgraded by any of the unbelievers' tricks or nefarious designs. First, an oath is taken with reference to the stars in order to press home the truth that nothing can survive in the universe without Allah's protection. Man's attention is drawn to his own being, how he was created from a drop of sperm, developing later into fully grown-up living being. Surely, Allah who created him thus has the power to bring him back to life. Man will be resurrected in order to test his deepest secrets. On the Day of Judgment, however, man shall have no power and no helper to escape the consequences of his misdeeds. In conclusion, attention is drawn to the workings of the universe, rainfall and the growth of plant life and crops. These are significant life-giving phenomena. By the same token, the truths enunciated in the Quran are incontrovertible. The unbelievers mistakenly think that their tricks will stop the spread of the Quranic message. They do not realize that Allah has been devising a plan that will defeat their guile. The Prophet, peace be upon him, is asked to bear with the unbelievers' opposition, while the latter are served with a warning that they will soon see for themselves whether their impious designs succeed to any degree.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate.
والسماء والطارق
By the heaven and the night visitor.
وما أدراك ما الطارق
What do you know what the night visitor is?
النجم الثاقب
It is the piercing star.
إن كل نفس لما عليها حافظ
There is no living being, but there is a protector over it.
1. A guardian, Allah Almighty Himself, who is looking after and watching over every creature, big or small, in the earth and heavens. He it is who has brought everything into existence, who is maintaining and sustaining everything in its place and position, and who has taken the responsibility to provide for every creature and to protect it from calamities till an appointed time. On this, an oath has been sworn by the heaven and by every star and planet which appears in the darkness of the night. Although lexically, a Najm Adh Thaqib is singular, it does not imply any one star but the star in the generic sense. The oath signifies that the existence of each star, among the countless stars and planets that shine in the sky at night, testifies to the fact that there is a being who has created it, illuminated it, suspended it in space, and thus is watching over it in a manner that neither it falls from its place nor collides with any other of the countless stars in their movements, nor does any other star collide with it.
فلينظر الإنسان مما خلق
So let man consider of what he was created.
2. After inviting man to ponder over the heavens, he is now being invited to consider his own self, and see how he has been created. Who is it who selects one spermatozoon from among billions of spermatozoa emitted by the father and combines it at some time with one ovum out of a large number of the ova produced by the mother, and thus causes a particular human being to be conceived? Then, who is it who after conception develops it gradually in the mother's womb until it is delivered in the form of a living child? Then, who is it who in the mother's womb itself brings about a certain proportion and harmony between its bodily structure and its physical and mental capabilities? Then, Who is it who watches over it continuously from birth till death, protects it from disease, accidents and calamities, and provides him with countless means of life and opportunities for survival in the world of which he is not even conscious, not to speak of having the power to provide these for himself? Is all this happening without the planning and supervision of one God?
خُلِقَ مِن مَّاءٍ دَافِقٍ.
He was created of a gushing fluid,
يَخْرُجُ مِن بَيْنِ الصُّلْبِ وَالتَّرَائِبِ.
emanating from between the loins and the ribs.
3. A fluid gushing forth means ejaculation of semen, mane, carrying the sperm, nutfa, one of the minute, usually actively monogamete, a mature male reproductive cell in semen, which serves to fertilize the female ovum. Sperms are produced by testes. Each testes has 800 small tubules and each tube about 2 feet long, seminiferous tubules which produce sperms about 200 to 300 million every day. There are 2 valves around urethra. Both are tightly closed to hold and store semen before its expulsion. The inner valve stays tightly closed to prevent backward ejaculation into the urinary bladder, and the outer valve intermittently contracts and relaxes 3 to 7 times along with surrounding muscles contraction to generate force for propelling the semen out. Daffican. Ref. Spinal Cord Medicine. Demos Medical Publishing Inc. New York, USA. Chapter 26, page 354.
إِنَّهُ عَلَى رَجْعِهِ لَقَادِرٌ.
Surely, He, the Creator, has the power to bring him back to life.
4. Sulb is the backbone, vertebral column, and Tariq the ribs. There are 12 pairs of ribs. Of them, 7 pairs are called true ribs, as each of them is attached between the vertebra, backbone, and the sternum, breastbone, and the remaining 5 are called false ribs, as they are also attached to the vertebral column but not to sternum. Ejaculation is a highly complex process which requires smooth coordination of multiple sections of the nervous system. Mechanism of emission and propulsions is caused by 2 spinal cord centers. The spinal cord is 43 to 45 centimeters long and is continuation of brain tissue and occupies its place in the center of upper spinal bony vertebral column. It is the proper functioning, integrity and continuity of these 2 spinal cord centers located between vertebrae, sulb, and ribs, Tariq, connecting spinal cord and sex organs along with the valves around urethra by the nerves which are responsible for ejaculation. Ref. Spinal Cord Medicine, Demos Medical Publishing Inc. New York, USA, Chapter 2, page 16.
يَوْمَ تُبْلَى السَّرَائِرُ.
On the day when man's deepest secrets shall be put to the test.
5. That is, his bringing man into existence, and watching over him from the time conception takes place until death, is a clear proof that he can create him once again after death. If he had the power to create him in the first instance, and man stays alive in the world by his power alone, what rational arguments can be presented for the conjecture that he does not have the power to do the same thing a second time? To deny this power, man will even have to deny that God has brought him into existence, and the one who denies this may well come out one day with the claim that all books in the world have been printed accidentally, all cities of the world have been built accidentally, and there has occurred on the earth an explosion by chance which made all the factories start functioning automatically. The fact is that the creation of man, the structure of his body, the existence of the powers and capabilities working within him, and his survival as a living being, all this is a much more complex process than all those works that have come to be accomplished through man, or are still in the process of being accomplished. If such a complex work with such wisdom, proportion and order could be accomplished just through a chance accident, what else could not be regarded as accidental by a mentally deranged person?
فَمَا لَهُ مِن قُوَّةٍ وَلَا نَاصِرٍ.
He shall have no power and no helper.
وَالسَّمَاءِ ذَاتِ الرَّجْعِ.
By the heaven, with its recurring cycle of rain.
6. The hidden secrets. The acts of every person which remained a secret to the world, as well as those affairs which came before the world only in their apparent form, but the intentions, aims and secret motives working behind them remained hidden from the people. On the resurrection day all this will be laid bare, and not only will the acts and deeds of every person be examined, but it will also be seen what was his motive and intention and object of so acting. Likewise, it also remained hidden from the world, even from the doer of the act himself, what effects and influences of his act appeared in the world, to what extent they spread and for how long they continued to work. This secret will also be revealed on the resurrection day, and it will be fully examined as to what were the consequences of the seed that a person sowed in the world, what fruit it bore, and for how long it affected the later generations for better or for worse.
And by the earth ever bursting with verdure. This Quran is surely a decisive word, not a flippant jest.
7. The words that Rajay have been used for the sky. Literally Rajay means to return, but metaphorically this word is used for the rain in Arabic, for rain does not fall just once, but returns over and over again in the season and sometimes out of season as well. Another reason for calling the rain Rajay is that water rises as vapor from the oceans of the earth, and then falls back as rain on the same earth.
They are devising a guile.
8. That is, just as the falling of rain from the sky and the splitting of the earth to put out shoots is no jest but a serious reality, so also the news which the Quran gives that man has to return to his God is no jest but a definite and decisive reality, and an unchangeable truth which has to be fulfilled.
And I too am devising a guile.
9. That is, these disbelievers are devising every kind of plan to defeat the invitation of the Quran. They wish to blow out this candle. They are creating all sorts of doubts in the people's minds. They are inventing false accusations against the Prophet, peace be upon him, who has brought it, so as to frustrate his mission in the world and perpetuate the darkness of ignorance and unbelief which he is struggling so hard to remove, and his survival as a
So leave the unbelievers to themselves, respite them a while.
10. That is, I am planning that none of their devices should succeed, so that they are utterly defeated in their designs, and the light which they are trying their utmost to put out, spreads far and wide.